Greg Tupper, Dave Campbell's Texas Football on TexasFootball.com here at the THSCA Coaching School and Convention in San Antonio, talking with the new head Bulldog in Jasper, Coach Kendrick Crumedy. Coach, first and foremost, first time we've seen each other since you got the job, so congratulations on the new gig.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm just glad to be here. I'm blessed. Good Lord saw fit for me to be there, and I'm excited to see what I can do.
Well, and you're coming home to Jasper. And I know I have to imagine, you're an alum, you're a guy who knows that program and inside and out. I have to imagine that the call that, yeah, you're the guy was a pretty cool moment.
It was awesome. I actually interviewed on my birthday, on my 37th birthday.
Oh, wow.
The day of. And when I left the room, I knew I had the job. I just felt it in my spirit. And I cried half the way home because I was terrified. It's going home. Anytime you go home, there are expectations that you have to meet. And being a kid that grew up there and understand the kids, and being on some of those elite teams that were in Jasper, because we had one heck of a run from 2001 to probably about 2006, and I was the group that went 24-4 that started that run. And the expectations are high. Both of my parents still live there. My mom works at the Walmart, so she hears it all. And my dad lives out in the country and rides his horses, but he hears it all. But it's just so fun because the kids are buying in. They love having one of their own there. And so where some coaches will have to go through to get kids to buy in, I can look at them in the face and say, hey, I worked out in the same weight room as you did. I worked across the street at the bus barn as my first summer job, getting muddy and oily, washing buses, then had to walk across the street to lift in this weight room with no air conditioner, and then had to go out here and run on this grass field. Y'all have turf now. We've upgraded. But it's going to be fun. The kids are excited. Heck, I think I'm more excited than anybody else.
The thing you're describing, that authenticity, you know what I mean? Like you can't buy that. You can't really, you got to earn that, and you've got that through just being Jasper Bulldog and understanding that. And so I have to imagine that when you have these conversations with your players, that you are coming to them from a place of, I've been here. I've done that. I've been. This is who I am. Like I bleed this. This bulldog blood.
Instant credibility.
Yeah.
And it's funny because Kirk Martin hired me at Melville. I love Kirk. Kevin Hall is a Jasper guy who's the head coach at Melville now. Kept me on staff. He's like, you can't go nowhere. Then he encouraged me to get the Jasper job. He said, I'm too old to do it now. You need to go do it. And it's funny because I still wear my Jasper gear everywhere. Even when I worked at Melville, if I was going to go scout somewhere or if I was just out and about, I had on a Jasper hoodie. My uncle was the track coach there that broke the national record and all that. So I love that place a different type of way.
If it makes sense. Giving us trouble.
Oh, I like shoes, Coach. I got on some ones. Dark Shadow. I see you.
I got the Air Force Ones on, so we're good.
So going home, I felt like it was time. It's something I've been praying for, and it's funny that you tell the good Lord your plans, and he laughs and tell you his. Because I never dreamed I would have been a Jasper Bulldog, that I would have went back home, especially not at 37. I was like, Jasper gets that negative connotation of being a racist town. It's definitely not. And with all the Jamesburg Jr. and all that, I actually grew up on the exact road he was drug on, my dad's farm. And so I saw all that and I experienced all that, and Jasper's not that place. So for me to go home, I get a lot of, why are you going to Jasper? Jasper raised me. It made me tough. There are things that we learned in Jasper, Texas that you can't learn nowhere else. And with the kids, they love that part. I think they love that part most about me. I could be authentic with them and say, hey, we have a unique set of circumstances here in Jasper, Texas that other people don't deal with, that the outside world doesn't. They think we're racist here and we're not. They think we're backwards here, and we're not. We're just as intelligent, and we deserve everything other people deserve. You can make it from a place like this. These 45-pound bars, guess what? Just because it's not in a covered facility or it's not in an air-conditioned indoor facility, doesn't mean those 45-pound bars weigh any less.
Yep.
Those 45-pound bumpers weigh the same. Our 100-yard field is 53 and a third wide, just like everybody. Let's go to work. We're going to get after it. We're going to make the absolute best out of every situation that we have because that's who we are. That's what's ingrained in our DNA. In Jasper, Texas, a kid to get up, feed his horses before he go to school in the morning, go to school all day, go to football practice, and then go home and throw hay bales and feed his horses again. He might hop on his four-wheeler. He might go fishing and swimming in the creek. And I absolutely love it. Some mornings our kids show up in cowboy boots and Nike shorts, and I love it. I kid you not, I love it. You walk into Walmart, everyone knows your name. You go sit down in a restaurant, somebody will come play your tab. And they just want to know about Jasper. Well, what are we doing? It's not what are y'all doing. It's a what are we doing? And I love that part about it.
It's a unique community, you know, in that sense that, you know, it's still very much a small town, and that this is your first head coaching job. Every coach is just kind of takes something from the guys that they coached with. You know, you mentioned Kevin Hall, a guy who's a Jasper guy. What are you going to take from him that you're gonna put on your coaching style?
What I'm getting from Kevin Hall is his structure. He believed in holding people accountable, and he was very, very, very structured. He would have the hard conversations and put you in uncomfortable situations to make you grow. He wants you to grow as a coach. He really does. And I'm going to use that because we're going to use some things he did on defense, because he was very simple on defense but unique, and he got kids in positions to make plays. From Kirk, I'm going to take Kirk. Servant leadership and love for kids. He absolutely loved kids. He would cancel a practice for us to go to a volleyball game. He said, look, we're going to support our kids. These are our kids. So that's what I loved about him. He was a kid first, athlete second guy. He believed in FCA. He believed in giving people the chances. He was a guy friend, man. He always talked about magnifying the opportunities that you had. And if you magnify the opportunities you have, you'll be rewarded with more. So I want to use those things for both of those guys.
All right, and finally, you're about to be a head coach for the first time, first game. So people may not know, what is a Kendrick Crumedy, team going to be about? What are you guys going to hang your hat on?
We're going to be Jasper kids, and the kids are really brought into it. And what it means to be a Jasper kid, it means no matter what, we're not going to back down. We're going to line up, and whether you're bigger, faster, stronger, we're going to fight you tooth and nail. And simply because that's who we are. That's who we were raised to be, and that's going to flow in our veins. We want to play hard. We're going to be tough. We're going to play hard. We're going to be who we're supposed to be. We're going to hit you in the mouth. That's what we're known for. That's what Jasper's always been. And I mean, that's not an arrogance thing. That's not a bragging thing. You could turn on the tape, and if nothing else, a Jasper kid could run, and a Jasper kid would hit you.
Yep.
And we're going to keep doing those things.
That's when I think of Jasper football, I think of football players striking their opponent. Like, they strike them. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, for me, Jasper football is physical football. It is. Get after your rear end football.
It's going to be a little flashier than it's ever been. I mean, because I'm a young energy guy. I think the good Lord blessed me with the ability to motivate. And I mean, I love scheme and all that, but I think kids play hard when they're inspired, and I think that's something that I bring to the table, that our DC brings to the table. Malcolm Brunson and our OC Bo Burleson, they're young, fiery guys, and we're going to be inspirational. We wear J's on the sideline and Warns or Dark Shadows or 11s. We're gonna be a little more flashier than some people are comfortable with, but as you've seen, I mean, it's about what your kids love. I love what Coach Todd did at South Oak Cliff with the all-white and his kids. They just believed in a mission, and they had fun doing it. I don't care if you wear 12 wristbands, as long as they're team colors and you're playing football. Now, if you ain't striking nobody, I want you to come out of that. But if you got on 12 wristbands and a towel that's down to your knees, but you are running through people's face and you're catching interceptions and scoring touchdowns and you're having a blast doing it, let's go have some fun.
Kendrick Crumedy, head coach Jasper. Coach, we're thrilled for you. Can't wait to see your Bulldogs.
Thank you.